Hi everyone. Today I'm going to show you the last part of my paint by number kit, and that is mounting it. So this particular kit came with a mounting kit. So the way this is mounted is it's going to be a bar of wood at the bottom and a bar of wood at the top. I actually have this upside down. And then it's just going to hang from this, it looks like a little leather strap. So I've got my mounting pieces here and then my pins here. So first things first, I'm going to open this up. All right, so I've got it open. I'm going to move my pins to the side for now. And so the first thing the instructions say is to line up the top piece with the top of the painting. I'm going to actually flip this upside down, or right side up rather, and take one of my plain pieces, so without the leather strap, and just line it up against the top. And so this goes all the way across the whole painting. And actually, before I mount this, since I've got a white edge on either side of this painting, the paint by number didn't go all the way to the edge. I'm actually going to cut off these white edges so the painting goes straight to the edge. So to do that, I am going to use my rotary cutter and a quilting ruler. So I am going to, I've already got this out on a cutting mat. So I'm just going to line up my bare edge, and I'm actually going to rotate my cutting mat so I've got it a little bit of a longer surface so that the edge of my painting isn't going all the way to the edge of this mat. And I'm going to just cut off, this is maybe a 1/4 inch at most, of the unpainted edge. And what I'm doing is I'm lining up the bottom edge of my painting, which looks to be pretty straight, with a straight edge on my quilting ruler. And so that will ensure that this corner is nice and squared. All right, so now I'm going to grab my quilting, or not quilting ruler, I already have that, my rotary cutter, and cut along the edge of my quilting ruler. So I'm going to push down hard on my quilting ruler so it doesn't move. And this is a canvas, so it's kind of like fabric. So I'm sure this will cut through just fine since this is for cutting fabric. However, you could do this with scissors if you don't have a quilting ruler and rotary cutter. So you just line it up with the edge of your quilting ruler and roll the blade along the edge of the ruler, and always cut away from you. It's much safer to cut away from you than towards you in case it slips. You could cut your hand. Also try to keep your hands away from the edge. And it should be very simple to just cut a nice straight edge. All right, so there's my painting right up to the edge, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side. All right, so that step is done. So back to our mounting instructions. Okay, so I've got my painting trimmed. I actually decided to trim a little bit off the top and the bottom as well, because once I started lining up my wooden planks with the top and bottom, I had a little bit of white hanging off the edge, and I didn't want there to be any white showing. So I decided to just trim, I don't know, probably not even a 1/4 inch off the top and the bottom. But I think that will help with the end result a lot. So the next step is to line up your wooden plank with the top, and I'm just trying to make it fairly even here. And what I'm going to do, it says to poke a metal pin through here, but since it's a little hard to do and keep it straight, I'm actually going to use my mechanical pencil and like make a little dot through the hole and then punch the holes after I have marked them. Instead of trying to punch through the wood, I'm going to punch the hole without the wood there. So what I'm going to do, and I've actually already got a test hole here from somewhere. I decided this isn't where I wanted to punch it. This is before I trimmed it. Anyway, so I've got my pencil mark here. And then I'm going to take my pin, because it says to push the pin through the canvas. I wasn't sure if this would actually pierce the canvas, but it actually does a pretty good job. So I've pierced a hole there. And I'm going to pierce a hole here where my other pencil mark is. And then I will be able to line up my plank and push the pins through. All right, so I'm going to grab one pin for this side, one pin for this side. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to flip this over. So I've got my pins poking up through my wooden plank. And then I'm going to flip my painting over as well and just push it through the holes. I think that's going to be a lot easier to do than trying to do it from the other side. Okay, and since I'm at the top of my painting, the instructions say to next take your piece with the leather strap stapled to it and put that on the back, lining up the pre-drilled holes in the mounting slat. And so it says to put the staples to the middle so you don't have those staples on the back. I think it'll just give it a nice cleaner look. And then I'm going to line this hole with this pin. And I'm going to do the same over here. Okay. All right, and so I've got I'm going to make sure I pull this all the way out. Don't let this get stuck in there. And then the next thing is to take one of the other ends of the pin. So there's the pin. The pins are made up of two pieces. One with the long, I don't know, stabbing part. And then the cap that goes on the other end. So I'm going to take one of my caps and I'm going to put it on this pin and just push down. All right. Then I'm going to do the same on the other side and just push it down. All right, and I am going to see if I can't hammer these down a little bit. Okay, so I've got this little craft hammer. I think this is actually for doing with like metal embossing, but this will work for my purposes here. And I don't know that you have to hammer these down, but I want them to be nice and secure. So I'm just going to tap it. It didn't really make a lot of difference, but I think it's good for my peace of mind. Okay, so they still feel kind of wobbly, but like I can't pull them off easily, so I think that they're set. All right, so there is the top mounted with my little hanger. And now I'm just going to flip the painting around and do the bottom. Okay, and so that should take care of it. Awesome, I think this looks great. It's gonna like hang really nicely. I think once you have it up on the wall, this will keep the bottom, weighted down. So yeah, I love that this came with a hanging kit because it takes me so long to frame and hang anything. So just already having it on hand when you purchase the kit is a really nice feature for me. All right, well, that's all I have for my paint by number. Thanks for following me all the way along, and I hope you enjoyed these videos.